Hello everybody, my name is Ilse coming at you from hobbykr.com with another video. Today I have a very special video because number one, I'm sitting in a different setup, so you can see all my paraphernalia here, and also I'm playing Persona 5 on the background because that's what's on TV. I don't know if I'm gonna get copyrighted or arrested or whatever, but for the most part there are gonna be things occurring in front of the screen. I want to shout out Emily, who is someone who sent me an email 2 weeks ago and inspired this video. She suggested that I make a directory for the anime stores that are available in Korea, and I had been thinking about doing that for a long time, but because of different reasons I hadn't really gotten to it. But after getting her email, I really felt motivated and I was like, you know what, I should do it because I've been meaning to get to it and there's some interest, so I'll definitely get to it. So this week I compiled a list of anime stores that are available in Seoul. I do plan on expanding the directory to other parts of Korea, but because I live in Seoul and I mostly have experience in Seoul, that's what I started with. So if you head to hobbykr.com and then the link is, it's hobbykr.com/anime-store-directory, you will be able to find the directory. I've listed all the stores that I know of in Seoul. There's plenty to begin with if you are here, and as the time goes, I'll be adding things in other cities. And if you know of a store that you would like me to add, please send me an email to contact@hobbykr.com and I will be sure to add it. As a commemoration, if it needs it, commemoration for this this new directory. Right now it's very rudimentary, like it doesn't have any pictures or anything, it's just the links and the maps. Maybe later I'll make it more sophisticated. But I wanted to give you guys my top 5 list of best anime stores. So I wanted to show you the places that I go to most often, why I like them, why I dislike them in some ways, and really give you kind of like pointers as to where to go if you're you don't want to check everything out, but you want to know the best places to go. Again, if you would like to see the maps to get to these stores, head to hobbykr.com/anime-store-directory and you'll be able to find the maps there. So let's get started with the countdown. My number 5 best store to go to in Seoul is Yes Dungeon, also known as Hongdae Dungeon, near Hongik Station. And I really like this place because they have really good variety, really good selection. They have anything from Cardcaptor Sakura to Free to Idolmaster to One Piece to Doraemon to Pokemon to Kizuna Ai to Evangelion even a little bit. And they have really good variety, and they also sell video game stuff, figures, magazines, art books, a bunch of stuff. So they have really good variety. And they also have great selection of Ichiban Kuji. So Ichiban Kuji is that game where you buy the ticket and then you get a prize at random. And they have one of the biggest, I think they pretty much have everything that's available at any given time, they have. They also have a lot of like remnant figures and just a great variety. One con of this place is that it is a little bit expensive, and I find that although they do have great variety of products, they have very little of many things. So for example, they have an Evangelion section, which I love Evangelion, but they have maybe like 2 or 3 items, and one of them is a towel that costs 80,000 won. But still, I love that place. I think it's like unmissable. You I really recommend you go because you're sure to find something that you enjoy. Number 4 is a place called SEOMODA. So its name in Korean is Sogyu Dongmo Hyundabang. So I hope I said that right, but I just put SEOMODA. I don't think they have a name in English, but this is like genuine hole in the wall in Hongdae. Like when I discovered it, I felt like, oh my god, I found the secret garden. It felt really special. But this is like really hidden, but they have, number 1, a really big selection of gacha items, and number 2, so many products. So what this store is great for is really good at finding individual items. So at any given point, if you have a whole collection of like haiku of a specific keychain, they have them individual. So if you're missing anything in your collection, you'll be able to find it there. They don't have as much new stuff, but they have a lot of like vintage items, which I love because I don't know about you, but I tend to like older anime. So it's really good to be able to find goods for older anime. They have really good variety and you can find really unique collector's items. I've found Evangelion Ichiban KUKJE items from like millennia ago. I mean, maybe like 8 years ago, which is really, really cool, but you really have to dig in there. Some of the cons of this store is that it is mostly older stuff, so you might not find like everything you're looking for, although I have seen that they sell pretty unique figures. And it's also kind of like, I don't want to say dingy, but feels a little dungeony. One time I went, it smelled really weird, so it can feel a little dark, but I think it's still a really excellent store and you're bound to find something really, really special if you go. They have like vintage Prince of Tennis items and I love that. Number 3 is, of course, Animate, either the Yongsan location or the new Hongdae location. Animate, as you know, is like the anime store mogul of Japan. No matter where you go, you will see an Animate, and any anime fan will tell you your first stop should be Animate. So the pros of Animate is that they have a large selection of products and CDs and manga. I don't think they have DVDs in Korea, but still they have like a huge manga and art book area, and then they have a huge items area. It's also great because it's the store that has the most new items, so you'll be able to find like current products, which is really awesome. And it's pretty similar. It's not exactly the same as Japan, but it's pretty similar to Japan. So like if you were really looking forward to visiting Animate in Japan, but for some reason you can't go, it's a great alternative. The cons to me is that the variety of products is not as good in the sense that they focus a lot on idol anime and a lot on new anime. So they have a lot of like Boku no Hero, they have some Attack on Titan, they have like Bang Dream, I think Love Live, Gintama, stuff like that, and it doesn't have like too many unique items. Like they sell those things in a lot of different stores, so it doesn't feel as special to me, and it's really expensive, like ridiculous. You can buy a folder for like 25,000 won, so like around $25, like that level of prices, so it is a little bit steep in my opinion. Number 2 is a store called Tons Talks. In Korean it is the same, like Tonsu Toksu. So I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to mean, but I know that this store has a couple different branches in Korea. It also was like the sister store to a store in Gangnam that is now called KUKJE, but this still exists, and oh, this place is heaven. If you want to find vintage anime items like from Slam Dunk, Hunter x Hunter, they have the biggest selection of Hunter x Hunter items in all of Korea. I've found figures, folders, notebooks, pens, like they have so many amazing vintage anime items, shirts, everything. That place is paradise. Like if you like stuff like this and you like feel passionately about it and you freak out when you find a place that is good, Tons Talks is the best. I really, really, really recommend. They also have a huge selection of gacha as well as new products. They're bringing in new stuff from Japan all the time. Their Instagram is always kept really up to date, so I really recommend that you follow their Instagram. But their cons are that it is quite expensive in some ways. Some products are really expensive, some others are not so much, and it's really far. If you live in Seoul proper, I don't know what that even means, but like say for example that you live in Hongdae or Gangnam or like Shirim or one of the kind of like areas where a lot of foreigners live, it's a little bit far to get there. It takes me around an hour and a half, and I have to take a bus and I have to take the subway. I think it's worth it because it's such an amazing experience, but it is not as accessible as many of the other stores in the directory and in this list. And finally, we have arrived at number one. I feel like if you know about anime stores in Seoul, this is an obvious choice. So number one is the electronics market in Nambu Bus Terminal. It's like around the Socho area. In the 9th floor of this compound, you will find a floor entirely dedicated to video games and anime. And when I say a floor, I mean a floor. Like the entire floor is just different stores with figures, Gundam, Ichiban Kuji, shirts, like plushies, everything. They definitely have the biggest selection. Anything you want to find, you'll probably be able to find there. There's vintage items, there's obviously new items, there's figures, hobby stuff, and I think it's one of the places with the most competitive prices. So I have definitely seen figures that are way cheaper in the market than in, say, Yes Dungeon or Aniplus store or any of the other bigger stores, so that's really good. And something really cool about it is that they have a lot of crane game items. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Crane King, which is kind of like the crane games in Japan where you get like figures and like towels and like big prizes. These items are not supposed to be resold, but a lot of these places do sell them again, and if you're a collector, it's the best, unmissable. I have like a Hisoka towel and a Hie from Yu Yu Hakusho towel, and I bought them both in the electronics market. Unmissable. The only con that I see to this place is that to me the shopping experience is quite overwhelming. It definitely has that like if you've been to an electronics market in Korea, it has a very like markety feel in the sense that like you feel solicited by like every single vendor. It has a very like high-strung vibe. I don't know if it's me or if it's actually the place, but I always feel kind of like uneasy when I'm there, and I don't feel super comfortable browsing, and like I do feel watched, kind of like that. So the shopping experience might not be the best, but if you're looking for something, you're bound to find it there. So I really recommend, like, if you are only in Seoul for a day or like a couple days and you only have the chance to visit one place, go there, because they will have everything you need. They will have everything that they have in every other store that I've mentioned, except maybe Ton's talks with the vintage items. In a kind of runner-up way, I would like to mention the Aniplus store. This is also a very good store, especially because all the products are like certified to be original, licensed, and they have a good selection of new products. The only thing is that they focus too much on idol merch to me. So they have a lot of Love Live, they have a lot of King of Prism, they have a lot of like Idol Master or Idolish or whatever. A lot of Sword Art Online too, and they used to have a lot of Fate items, but I think the time has passed for that. So I do like it, but I don't think it's essential, just because the variety of goods to me I think could be a little disappointing for a lot of fans, especially if you're fans of like mainstream stuff like One Piece or Boku no Hero or like Dragon Ball or stuff like that. They really don't have anything related to that. It is mostly idol anime. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and I hope it is useful. I think anime shopping in Seoul is amazing. They honestly, like, it's not lacking anything. I really enjoy it. Sure, you don't get the striking like aspect of like Akihabara where you have 1,000 shops all near each other and they have so many different items, but like it really holds its own. So I really recommend, if you're an anime fan, go out there in Seoul. You will definitely find whatever you're looking for, or at least something that you like. Again, if you would like to see the whole directory, go to hobbykr.com/anime-store-directory, and you'll be able to find it there. Again, I'm gonna be growing it, I'm gonna be making it more sophisticated, but for now I think it has enough information for you guys to go and be able to discover some really cool places. As always, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at hobbykr.com, and make sure to share this video, because I feel like for once I've actually given you information that is very useful for a large amount of people. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye!